What is good, guys? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, the QQQ, Nvda, and a couple of tickers out there. I'm going to break down how the charts are looking so far and how this falling wedge is developing on SPY, and how you should be looking at this going into tomorrow and beyond. But before I do anything like this, before I talk about what's happening with the markets and some very important things to watch for, let me just mention a couple of things before starting. I am firstly not a financial planner, so make sure you take none of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed 5 free stocks with a $50 cash reward. The offer ends in 2 weeks, so check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. All right, guys. Looking at the market, things are looking very interesting right now. One thing that you could mention or at least notice is that SPY has this falling wedge that has been followed and basically holding for the majority of the day. You can see we just hit this bottom, and now the market's trying to see some buyers right about here. But the question that comes to mind is, how will the market move going into tomorrow with this in mind and this formation forming? And the answer is, I don't truly know what the market's going to do, like for tomorrow and etc. But what I can do is look at these trend lines, look at this falling wedge on SPY, and then determine how this could end up playing out. Now, please know we have a lot of puts expiring. We have about like 2.8 plus million puts expiring and about 1.5 million calls expiring, all for tomorrow with a 2.04 put to call ratio and a 439 max pain. However, that doesn't guarantee anything about the markets for the time being. I'm seeing two possibilities on SPY. Basically, for tomorrow, we could remain bearish, right? The market looks bearish right now, so this is a real possibility. I'm going to make this red in just a second, but we could just continue to remain in this falling wedge. We may even have to redraw it, and it could just continue to, fail to get any sort of breakout, and the market could just remain very weak, just continue like this and get almost nothing significant, maybe close very close to max pain on 439, right? This would be like the more bearish case. We just continue to sink. We see SPY make its way down to a low of like the 437s tomorrow, then get a bounce and just a very, very tiny bounce and close very close to max pain. Still pretty red, looking very, very weak. That would be the more bearish case on SPY. But there's also the possibility that because there's so many of these shorts expiring, everyone is turning into a bear, arguing the market's going to crash and this and that. The market makers could be playing a trick and they may try to squeeze a lot of shorts. Now, is it a guarantee? No, it's not a guarantee. And in order for that to happen, you want to see tomorrow specifically, you want to see SPY basically break out of this falling wedge like this and make its way back up above 440 and hold that and start pushing for these higher levels. That would squeeze a lot of shorts. That would be a big surprise. And that is a possibility, but I just want to make it as clear as possible that it's not a guarantee. You need to see confirmation for breakout for this to actually play out. And let me just add that if this were to happen, that doesn't guarantee anything about the future. It does not mean that the market is bullish, because the overall trend could still be bearish, even if we do get a small bounce like this, just like how we had a bounce right here. We could always sink down lower later on. The market could still come back down to 430 in the future, even if we do get a bounce tomorrow. So if you want to see a bounce, you want to see basically SPY break this wedge. That's what you're going to be watching for tomorrow. No guarantees it's going to happen, but you want to watch the wedge very carefully. Now, looking at something else, such as like Tesla, I just want to mention that um, when looking at Tesla, we're going to be very careful with it because Tesla's unfortunately not looking that strong. Looking at the current formation on Tesla, it's basically still on a big downtrend, looking relatively weak. And for now, it is trying to base at this 221 area. I was calling this level out 221. We actually bounced off 221.5. And we're still on this channel that's very, very much bearish. We're still making lower highs and lower lows. So the trend as of right now, okay, it's looking like this. It looks like Tesla's like continuing to downtrend, make these lows, come back down to this low here, and just like continuing to respect these low levels and just sinking, getting lower and lower and lower. This is what Tesla's basically doing. This is the trend so far, right? But even though this is the trend, even though this looks more probable, even though Tesla's looking weak, right, from a technical standpoint, there's always the possibility of market maker trickery tomorrow because of all the shorts expiring and because of the market potentially bouncing. So keep in mind, there is a possibility that Tesla could sink like this and then maybe get a bounce tomorrow. And if the market does get some kind of bounce, you want to see Tesla retest 225. and you want to retest this high right here. You want to see if Tesla could break this or not. If it fails to do so, it could just reject and continue to drop, right? But if it ends up breaking it, there is potential for it to get back up to like 230 or so and then continue, moving just sideways. There's a possibility of this playing out tomorrow because of all the puts expiring. But even if Tesla does get some kind of bounce like that, let me just be clear. I am not a perma bull. I'm not really favoring any side. I simply just read what the charts tells us, and we could still be on a big downtrend even if we do get a small bounce in the markets tomorrow. Right? Tesla could still always come back down to these low levels in the future for the next few weeks. That is still a possibility. That doesn't mean or guarantee anything if we get a bounce like this. But whatever, I mean, the bottom line is, there are two main possibilities. Both of these are possible, and uh, please be aware of what's about to happen. It's very important that we look at these and we know what could end up happening, and we watch our trend lines, we watch our support and resistance levels very, very carefully just to be safe. Looking at something like the triple Q, we have something similar going on. The triple Q is continuing to downtrend, looking relatively weak. And the question is, will the triple Q continue to just look bearish? Will it continue to sink like this and just, continue to just downtrend, make its way down over and over and over again, just sink all the way down to like 357? That's a possibility. I would not rule that out, but there's also the possibility of it getting a bounce like this, coming up like this tomorrow, getting a bounce off 360, then trying to push back up to this high 363, maybe getting a breakout tomorrow as lots of tech is quite oversold. There's a possibility of this. Is it a guarantee? Not really, but it is a possibility. So we're going to be watching this resistance around 363 if we do end up getting back above that to see if this thing could attempt to break out. So watch that for tomorrow. For now, it's looking weak, so I'm not expecting that for today, but I'm just talking about tomorrow. Finally, last but not least, for Nvda, this is going to be the last one I talk about for this intraday update. It is just in this channel, forming a nice flag. It could get a breakout in the future, approaching its earnings, but I don't know if the breakout starts tomorrow, if it's going to start until next week. There's a good chance it's going to break out. It's just that it's channeling for now. And we're going to be watching this range for the time being. It's just kind of stuck. So watch this carefully, do what you have to do. And I just want everyone to be very safe and careful. And please know there is a possibility that something unexpected could happen tomorrow. But for that to happen, we have to watch the trend lines and see if we get any breaks or things like that. All right. So with that said, thank you all for listening. Please have an absolutely spectacular rest of the day. Remain calm, cool, and collected. Watch your trends very carefully and just know that the market could do crazy things. Apple's currently at 174. If it continues to break down, we have 173.8, 173 flats, 172.5, and 170 as supports. There is a bullish divergence developing on it, though, so there's a chance it could try to rebound, but no guarantees just yet because there's no confirmation of a bounce. It is still downtrending, okay? So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Please know that there are formations out there that could be bullish developing on SPY, on the QQQ, and possibly even Tesla, but it's not a guarantee for tomorrow. Nothing is guaranteed until we truly break resistance, and so far the market hasn't done that, so let's not assume it's going to do that until it actually happens. With that said, my main point is be careful tomorrow. We don't know what the market's going to do. I personally just secured profits on these lows for many of these short positions. I did this just for safety because you never know what the market could do tomorrow. And it's a very tricky market, so just know this and do what you have to do. Non-financial advice. Please be very, very safe and do the best for your own portfolio and your own lives. All right. So on Tesla, don't forget to watch. Support at 221. That's the major support. Resistance at 225. We're going to be watching to see which way Tesla breaks. And we're going to be watching it tomorrow specifically to see if anything interesting happens. All right. So watch your trend lines, do what you have to do, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon as the long term is very bright, and peace out.